Greetings everybody, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel. I'm sure everything is going well with you, and today I'm here to answer a very controversial question. But before we can get to it, please, if you're new to this channel, please remember to like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell button so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And let's get right to it. Now, before we can get to this, I'm giving the answer to the best of my ability based on the Bible and what I understood from reading it. Right. There was one question that someone asked. It said, can Christians have more than one wife? You ready for the answer? Get ready for it. Yes, you can. Now, hold on your horses. Hold on, guys. You're pushing me. Hold on. Hold on. Please. Okay, calm down. Calm down. Sit down and drink some tea. I will explain myself. Right? Because I know a lot of people, they'll go to the scriptures where Christ said, he says, from the beginning, male and female, says it wasn't so, right? Because he talks about the woman, the Samaritan woman who had seven boyfriends. She never married, right? Actually, no, not the Samaritan. I think, yes, the Pharisees, they came to tempt Christ by asking him certain questions based on the law. They were asking him to say, a woman had, she had different husbands, and each one died. And then they asked, they said, she also died. He said, well, in a resurrection, right, who will she belong to? And he said, he basically went into detail. You can read that record yourself. But there are many examples I'm trying to portray where there's another passage where Christ said, he said, it was meant for men to only have one wife, but, in the beginning. But sin came in the world and things changed. Now, people say, well, what makes you say that a Christian can have more than one wife? Because, slow down, right? A Christian is someone who follows Christ. And Christ did what he said. I came to fulfill all the laws, right? He said for people to keep the commandments, right? Now, watch this. There were some commandments in the law, if you read the Old Testament, that actually came before Moses received the law, right? Of continuing the bloodline of your deceased male member or brother. Now, that's what I'm saying. When someone says, can a Christian have one wife? I say, yes. But it's not how your Western-minded or your modernized thinking is. Everything the Most High commands us is for a purpose. So when people hear wife, most of the time they're thinking about from a lustful ways. Like, I can have many women, Nah. Everything has a purpose. The purpose of having a wife, according to biblical scriptures, is to bring seed, to bring children, to have something, right? To continue lineage. Now, there are laws. Coincidentally, it's part of Congolese culture, African culture, right? If you're in a family, because you have to understand, most of the time back in the days, everybody lived in the same area or in the same house. You see like 3 generations in one house living together and something like that, right? So it said, if your brother had a wife and he died without having children, the brother who's alive, whether he has wives or not, it was his duty for the family and for his brother's bloodline to take on the widow as his wife. Now, this is how it works. And you don't have to take my words from me. You have to read it from the scriptures, right? This is a schooling session. I know I gave you a simple answer, but I'm giving you an understanding why I say yes. So, when you take the widow, your brother's widow, right, and you marry her, the firstborn that you're going to have with her that child will take on your brother's name. So in a way, that child doesn't belong to you by name. So I'll use an example, right, for my American listeners. You are a Johnson, right? And your brother is a Johnson also. But let's say his middle name was Philip. So your son that you have with his widow, because your brother didn't have a child, will not have your Johnson name. He was gonna have Philip because that's your brother's name, right? But the second child or his younger brother who comes after him, now that child can have your name. That's how the elders did it back in centuries, thousands of years ago. That's how it was part of the customs. No, the reason why it was done so to keep the family's name intact and to continue the legacy, right? And that was also implemented according to the law. There's even a passage that you can go where Moses is breaking down how things should be done. For an example, if you have two wives, and let's say you met your first wife and your second wife. There's a what do you call it? A chain of command in the sense that this one you marry first and this one you marry second. But your second wife has she's the one who gets pregnant first. But let's say you didn't love her as the first one. The Bible says you cannot treat that firstborn wrong. Why? Because that's your firstborn. So if your favorite wife has its son, you cannot treat that firstborn way better than the other one because that one came first, regardless of which wives. Being fair, right? So the Bible talks about justice. So there's that. And there are many passages when it comes to multiple wives. But when you read the New Testament, it's given an advice says it's better for you to have one because having more than one wife. Because remember, I say marriage is a duty. Many people cannot do it. It's a lot of work, right? Don't look at marriage in a lustful way. Everything has a purpose. That's what people have to understand. But we live in a Hellenized world where the Hellens, they were, what's the word? Their culture is carnal. And they have influenced the whole world to the way where even to marriage, when it comes to its duty, it's not looked at like that anymore. So when I'm answering this question, I'm saying yes for a reason based on my understanding of the scriptures. Now, some people may disagree out there, but I'll tell you, look around you. I'll use the United States of America for an example. How many divorces out there are remarried? Wouldn't that be looked at as having more than one wife? Because according to the scriptures, the only divorce that's quote unquote agreeable in heaven and on earth is when someone dies. When you die, you're no longer on the earth, so the contract of marriage is void. But if you're divorced on paper with someone else, right? Yeah, you divorced, but that's not how it works in the spiritual world. You're still attached to that person. So if you've been divorced twice, 3 times, you're still married to your first one. So ready. Who's ready, quote unquote, in the monogamous relationship? You decide. So thanks again, guys, for stopping by. I'm sure my question was very my answer really gave you some understanding when it comes to that particular question about having more than one wife. So, but if you're not satisfied, please feel free to leave a comment on the rebuttal and give me your reasons. And it's all about having a conversation. Don't get too frustrated or angry at it. I really appreciate your support, guys. Hopefully, I'll keep doing more of this. Time is short. There's only so much I can do, but I really appreciate your support. If you love this series, right, please remember, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell, and remember, guys, marriage is a duty. It's not about the lust. Peace.